Hey, this is Peace and Harmony with you here today, zooming in a little bit more in depth on the experience of what it's like to be manipulated, controlled, and exploited by a overt narcissist, or a psychopath. In really many of the clients that I work with, I find that they are really exploited to an extent. Been involved with a manipulative type of person, a covert or overt narcissist, or a psychopath, someone who has an exaggerated presence in their life. And what I mean by exaggerated presence, I mean it's somebody who has, by a heightened sense of self superiority and a lack of empathy, and really when we look at the psychopath, someone who really lacks a conscience or lacks any sort of morality. So it gives them the ability to exploit and really have an insidious sort of manipulation over others, often to their detriment, suffering, and destruction. So really realizing that, contrary to information in their environment or their own feelings, in other words, a lot of conflict in the relationships, a lot of issues, a lot of imbalance, a lot of pathological lying, where this person has, really made them feel paranoid or suspicious, or, kind of the gaslighting, and then kind of keeping a lot of other relationships rotating at the same time, where they're texting people or coming home with different phone numbers, or they've got Skype on, or they've got other dating websites up, your Match, your Tinder, your various websites, and they keep a lot of these sort of relationships in their own agenda. They're keeping various relationships or transactions hidden from you. So, this is very much the exploitation and manipulation tactics of a narcissist or a psychopath. Realize that that these are personality and thought disorders, or personality, which means identity disorders, that are on the same spectrum, the cluster B, as we see in the DSM-5R, although the psychopath is on kind of the more extreme or heightened end of the spectrum, where really what typifies that disorder is a lack of conscience, meaning morality. So really, not having a conscience, meaning that they can really violate people to a greater degree and not have any remorse or any regret or really feel anything from it. They have a complete disconnection from somebody, and so they really seek to destroy and really sort of sabotage people as a way of connecting with them. It's very insidious sort of relationship that we see with a psychopath individual and others in their environment. So this experience of being attending to them despite information to the contrary. So what I find very interesting is, when someone is being manipulated and controlled and overpowered by these type of individuals, the sort of disconnect that is instilled in the victim or the person, the quote-unquote supply, which is a person. These are just kind of terms, so you understand the dynamic in the relationship, but realizing that they are manipulated, and you can hopefully identify this within yourself. But basically the experience is one of being so manipulated and so exploited that they're severed, they're disconnected from their own belief system, they're disconnected from their own self-belief, they're disconnected from their own sort of wellness, their own oneness, their own identity. And they're instilled with the values of this abusive person. So, and that's why it's so distressing, because, and people feel like I'm not really fulfilled. It's because you're really becoming severed and manipulated from your own values, your own internal guidance system, your own strengths, your own passions. Oftentimes, these can't be expressed. These can't be lived. They can't be developed. They can't be mirrored back effectively to you. So, realize that, relationships, you have to have a presence. It's just like someone has to be there and, mirroring back, oh, good job, or you're right about this, or I get you on that, and then tell me a story, and then they actually listen to you. So, people will go years without being listened to. They'll go, without being acknowledged, without being mirrored, or living like their true life, or really what, we call like being in tune with your own destiny. And so, what happens within people who are involved with narcissist or psychopathic individuals is that they end up really sacrificing much of their own self-worth and their own personhood, and really fulfilling their own destiny, which means their own life purpose, like being in tune with it and living it. So they tend to be so severed from it that they feel unfulfilled. They feel like they're invisible. They feel like they have no voice. They have communication issues. They feel like they can't quite communicate. And it's because their values are being instilled with those of the control agent, which is the narcissist or the psychopath, rather than being on their own and having those reflected, acknowledged. And it's like, it's okay that it's great that you love animals, or this is your interest, and having those reflected back and lived. So if this is going on with you, realize how important it is to draw back into your own inner world, your own inner life. So that's why we recommend, many of the tools we discuss here and develop on this channel. The recovery journal, the recovery date, the recovery gift, the meditation techniques, the unplugging, realizing that you have your own values, your own opinions, your own rights that need to be, in tune, in touch with, and activated and lived, so that you're programmed more by this, and you're programmed by your true vision, such as we develop also in your vision board, your mentor. These things are all working together to program you moving forward, which is your true authentic self, which the abuser, the psychopath or narcissist or psychopath, is seeking to have you disconnected with, because that would mean you're no longer living a life as a supply. You're living independent, and that would mean that you're no longer fulfilling them. You're actually fulfilling your own life goals. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please plug into the tools we discuss here. Please apply them every day. And feel free to email me with any questions at peaceandharmonynow@gmail.com on how to apply these, or really get a solid strategy of healing moving forward for you.